Hello everyone. Welcome back to another exciting session of physics. Now tell me, have you ever sat near a campfire and felt warm even without touching the flames? Or noticed how a metal spoon in a cup of hot tea becomes hot at the other end too? Or wondered why the air near your ceiling always feels warmer than the floor? Well, that's heat on the move. Today, we are going to uncover how heat travels through the three wonderful modes of heat transfer. Heat always flows from where it's hot to where it's not, from a region of higher temperature to one of lower temperature. But the path it takes can differ. Nature uses three highways for heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. In conduction, energy moves through collisions between neighboring particles, like a relay race where no runner actually moves forward, they just pass the energy baton. In convection, fluids like air or water themselves move and carry heat with them. Think of boiling soup, where bubbles rise and fall, forming a rolling current. And in radiation, heat travels through electromagnetic waves. That's how sunlight reaches you across about 150 million kilometers of empty space. So, next time you're near a bonfire, cooking on a stove, or simply enjoying the sunshine, remember, all three modes of heat transfer are working together right around you. Let's start with the first mode, conduction. Imagine holding a metal spoon in a hot cup of tea. The handle gets warm even though it's not inside the tea, right? That's conduction, heat sneaking its way molecule by molecule. When one end of a solid rod is heated, particles at that end vibrate faster. They bump into neighboring particles, passing along energy until the whole rod warms up. The faster this happens, the better the material conducts heat. The relationship is given by Fourier's law, H equals K multiplied by open bracket T sub C minus T sub D close bracket divided by L. Here, H is the heat current in watts, K is the thermal conductivity measured in watts per meter per Kelvin, A is the cross-sectional area, T sub C and T sub D are the temperatures of the hot and cold ends, and L is the length of the rod. Metals like copper and silver have high K, that's why they're great conductors. Materials like wood or wool have low K, making them perfect insulators. So, when you use a copper bottom pan to cook, that's physics helping you spread heat evenly for delicious food. Now, moving on, quite literally, to the second mode, convection. Ever watched water boil? The bubbles rising from the bottom aren't random, that's the fluid in motion, carrying heat with it. In convection, heat transfer happens because the fluid itself moves. When fluid is heated, it expands, becomes lighter, and rises. Cooler, denser fluid sinks down, setting up a circulation pattern called the convection current. This is how sea breezes and land breezes form. During the day, land warms up faster than the sea, so warm air rises over land and cooler air from the sea rushes in. That's your daytime sea breeze. At night, the reverse happens, the land cools faster, so air now flows from land to sea, your nighttime land breeze. And it's not just nature, your ceiling fan, air conditioner, and even your car radiator use forced convection, where fans or pumps push air or liquid to transfer heat faster. So, every breeze you feel, whether natural or powered, is heat hitching a ride on moving air. Alright, now for the star of the show, radiation. The only type of heat transfer that works even through nothingness. This is how the sun keeps you warm from over 93 million miles away. Radiation is the transfer of heat as electromagnetic waves, just like light or radio signals. Every object around you emits radiation, even your own body. The hotter it gets, the more energy it radiates. This process follows Stefan Boltzmann's law. It says H equals E multiplied by sigma multiplied by a multiplied by T to the power 4. where H is the heat radiated in watts, E is the emissivity of the surface, sigma is the Stefan Boltzmann constant, 5.67 times 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per square meter per Kelvin to the power 4, A is area in square meters, and T is temperature in Kelvin. Another law, Wien's law, tells us that the product of wavelength and temperature is constant. Lambda multiplied by T equals 2.9 times 10 to the power of minus 3 meter Kelvin. That means, as an object gets hotter, its peak radiation shifts to shorter wavelengths. That's why red-hot iron glows and the sun emits white light. So yes, when you step into the sunlight, you're literally bathing in a wave of photons delivering billions of joules from a star, all thanks to radiation. Let's test these laws on something familiar, your own body. Yes, your body radiates energy all the time, even while you're sitting still. Let's take an example. Suppose your body's surface area is 1.9 square meters, emissivity is 0.97, body temperature is 301 Kelvin, and room temperature is 295 Kelvin. We'll use the radiation formula. H equals E multiplied by sigma multiplied by open bracket T to the power 4 minus T sub S to the power 4 close bracket. Substituting the values, 0.97 times 5.67 times 10 to the power of minus 8 times 1.9 times open bracket 301 to the power 4 minus 295 to the power 4 close bracket gives us about 66.4 watts. That means your body continuously radiates around 66 watts of power, like keeping a small light bulb switched on all day. A resting person produces roughly 120 watts in total, half of it leaves through radiation. And now you know why we wear clothes, not to create heat, but to reduce emissivity and trap air, slowing the loss of radiant energy. Physics literally keeps you warm. Let's wrap this up before all this heat escapes our brains. Heat travels in three wonderful ways. First, through conduction, particle to particle, without actual motion. Second, through convection, where the fluid itself moves, carrying energy. And third, through radiation, traveling as electromagnetic waves, needing no medium at all. Real life is a beautiful mix of all three. Take cooking, for example, the flame radiates heat, the pan conducts it, and the soup stirs with convection currents. Or think of the sun, radiation travels through space, warms the ground, and air circulates through convection. No matter how it happens, one golden rule always applies: heat flows from high temperature to low temperature until equilibrium is reached. So next time you sip your hot coffee or feel the warmth of sunlight on your face, remember, conduction, convection, and radiation are all hard at work. Physics isn't just in your books, it's in your kitchen, your weather, and even in your cozy sweater. Stay curious, stay warm, and I'll see you in the next heated session of physics.